Question. Who here joined hospitality and tourism so they could make a lot of money? Can you raise your hand? Ah, good. You should. Okay, you should. Thank you. Tourism and hospitality is a very profitable business, but I would say, like many industries in the country, it is a double-edged sword. If you do it well, you can make money, and if you do it bad, you'll destroy what gives you money. Is that? Can you resonate with that? No? And the theme that I have, one of the themes I have for today is called extractive to regenerative, right? And so it will kind of go through that particular mindset, no? So also, I wanted to share that I believe that culinary and hospitality professionals can change the trend of poverty in our country. Government support or none. I know we can do it, no? And I'll kind of make the connections for you so that you can see how that's done. No? So, a little background, I'm an entrepreneur. Everything I've done, I try to do it for sustainability. No? And I'm here in Davao, Nicolas asking a while ago. We have my grandfather started the business almost 60 years ago. No? And I'm the one working it now, together with me, si Flor, who is our business partner here in Davao. No? And sobrang napamahal ako sa Davao and to the rest of Mindanao because of people in this city, right? And so, siguro the story that I want to share starts with this graphic, no? I'm sure you're familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals, yes? Who here memorizes the 17? Raise your hand. To be honest, it's hard to memorize the 17. 10 commandments nga, mahirap ma-memorize 17 pa. Good luck, no? So, this is a better way to phrase it, no? So, there is an old dumagat chieftain talking to a large development company. And in the Philippines, 40% of our land is ancestral domain. About 40, no? So, the development company says, oh, I want to build in your land, they give you jobs, no? But the elder says, sir, gusto namin ng development, pero ibig sabihin yan, alagaan ng lupa, alagaan ng tubig. Please take care of the water and the soil. And this captures what the Sustainable Development Goals is talking about. Where before business was for money, and then business was for money and people. Today it's for business for money, people, and environment. Right? Because the business comes from the environment. Right? Now, last year, at least in Luzon, we had record-breaking storms. I believe you might have been affected by this, no? My father is a doctor at PGH. He was valedictorian when he was younger. His pre-med is science. So I asked Dad, do you understand the connection between storms, climate change, and carbon? And he said, anak, hindi. I don't understand the connection. But I understand the concepts individually. And so I made these slides for him, right? Because I thought, patay, if Dad does not understand climate change, and he is the smartest, or one of the smartest in his generation, how can I expect the other leaders of our country to understand climate change? Is that reasonable? Right? Because they did not teach it in school. No? So this is my explanation to my dad. See, Flor can imagine Papa already. So, the sun shines, and then we get sunlight. That's the yellow arrows, energy. That grows everything green here. And in Davao, you have bountiful soil, but you must also have sunlight. No? Now, the planet has a natural system. It reflects what it does not need. Diba? So, reflect, okay, that's the ozone layer in some ways as well. No? However, our economy is built on what you call carbon energy, right? And today, our atmosphere has a lot of mirrors in the sky. Salamin ba? No? So, carbon dioxide, that's methane. When the heat goes up, it will reflect back. These are the red lines. And that's what builds a greenhouse effect, if you're familiar with farming. So the heat just stays there. Now, if you have a lot of heat and then it hits the planet Earth, which is 80% water, what happens to water pag nainitan? Correct, it evaporates. Can water vapor escape the planet? No, right? It stays in our planet. And so, it becomes clouds, correct? The heat also, because of the change in heat, the waves get stronger, the wind gets stronger, and then water that goes up eventually must come down. And it comes down in the form of storms. Where before, it might have come down in the form of regular rain shower because it's so hot, there's so much water. And that's why you're experiencing 1 month of rain in 24 hours, in 48 hours. No? And last year, we had 4 straight, right? This year, we had 3 straight in Luzon. And it's not yet even November. Because last year, November was the worst part. So I'm waiting, I'm wondering, will we get 4 straight, 3 straight, 3-3, 2-4? I don't know. But I'm sharing this with you because it will keep happening and it will interrupt your profession. Actually, every profession for that matter. No? Pero mahal ang gulay ngayon. No? And also, my nephews and nieces are very scared. When it rains in Luzon, they're like, I don't want. Baka magbaha. When it rained in Luzon when I was a child, I was happy because I know there's no school. But today it's different. It's scary already because there's so much water. No? And so you ask, where is this carbon coming from? And so Stanford University in the US has a map of where the carbon comes from. You can take a picture, I can give you the slides. I'll walk you through. One is how we move things, our transportation. That is 6 gigatons of carbon waste. Next is how you power things, electricity. Right? Our country is mostly a charcoal and oil-based electric economy. No? So we burn a lot of carbon waste. Right? Next, food. You influence all of this. How we eat also dictates carbon. No? So for example, beef has the highest carbon footprint among food. 1 cheeseburger, quarter pounder, is equivalent to 22 kilometers on a car in terms of carbon waste. 1 cheeseburger. So for us, when I'm doing the food organization, it's mostly pork and chicken and then I put a lot of vegetables because it's a lot less. Chicken is 1/6 of beef, pork is 1/5 of beef, etc. No? Legumes, sino ito mahilig sa munggo? No? Mga munggo friends, carbon negative, congrats. No? So next, protecting nature. This is what we know as tree planting, mangrove planting, agroforestry. But look, it's only 7. It's as big as the food because this is every day. Planting might be once in your lifetime, right? And then the last one, which is also close to my heart, is cleaning up industry. That's how we build construction industry. It's 8 gigatons. No? And the world will double the number of urban centers by 2050. That's like building a Davao, a Metro Manila every month for the next 25 years. Super daming cement, super daming steel. Cement and steel are very intensive in carbon, right? And then last pala to, this remove carbon, this is the carbon of everyone who's died already. So 10 gigatons for the dead, 49 for the living, 59 total. If we want the strong storms to stop getting stronger and the drought to stop becoming longer, we have to get that to 0. Which means it will change the way all our businesses, all our lifestyles move. No? That's the important thing. So, in our Philippine context, this is what's happened because of all the carbon waste in the world. So there's climate change. So farmers will lose 1/3 of their income because of crop failure, so sugar. So we import sugar. In the coral reefs, no, fish get what you call heat stress. Pag masyadong mainit, they will not give birth. Pag masyadong mainit, they will die. And so corals also die. We're losing 70%, no, of the corals. And then the heat index for people in Casiguran, Aurora, that's northeast of the Philippines, 60 degrees heat index. What was the heat index in Davao last summer? Anyone? 40. Init na, di ba? Can you imagine 60? No? So I checked on ChatGPT and Google. If you are exposed to 60-degree heat index for 15 minutes, you will get sick. 15 minutes, which means the weather is toxic, right? The weather saying, destroy humans. It's nature's way of telling us, uy, mali ginagawa nyo. You're wrong, change your ways, right? And when we look at tourism and hospitality, which is where I'm in, this is one of the storylines that we like to push, no? So this is the before and after of the Philippines. Do you guys know what happened in year 1900? There's a famous treaty in Paris. Anyone? No? We were then 70% primary rainforest. Now we're at 3, right? And this is what happened, no? In his book, Mr. Ordonez writes, no? In the Philippines, there was a U.S. congressman. Kasi in the Treaty of Paris, the U.S. said, hey, Spain will buy the Philippines for 20 million US dollars. Deal? Right? So the US congressman had to explain to the president, why will we buy the Philippines for 20 million dollars? Siyempre, that's big money, di ba? Here's the explanation. Mr. President, the times call for candor or honesty. The Philippines are ours forever and just beyond are China's illimitable markets. No land in America surpasses in fertility the plains and valleys of Luzon. Tas Luzon lang Mindanao is even better. Rice, coffee, sugar, coconuts, hemp, and tobacco. The wood of the Philippines can supply furniture of the world for a century to come. On the island of Cebu, the mountains are practically a chain of coal for energy to mine from, right? I have a nugget of pure gold from the banks of a Philippine river. So, I'm sharing this with you because the mindset of what started our industrial revolution, every business you know to date, every millionaire, billionaire you know of to date, was this. It was very extractive in nature, right? But today, we've crossed the threshold where the world is saying, extractive cannot be. You must restore, right? If not, it will become worrisome, no? It will become a problem. So, very quickly, where there are trees, it's cooler, 10 degrees Celsius cooler, and that's what we're pushing for. We want people to plant more. No? I'm sure when you're waiting for your ride home, or your parents or your friends, I bet you wait in the shade. You will not wait in the sun. No? Singapore is like this. Metro Manila is like this. That's why it's so hot. No? And a lot of our farmers still have extreme heat as an issue. This is a 2016 article. Do we have a solution to El Nino and drought? No, we don't. So it begs the question, are we really solving the world's problems? Are we really high-tech? In my opinion, no. This is still a problem, right? It's an old problem. No? And then storms are also a lot stronger, right? In that sense. No? And then floods. You see how the floods are strong as well. No? Now, if you plant trees, the bigger ones will absorb this much water. So this is what we're pushing for. I know that the president has said we have flood control programs. I believe that this is the best flood control program. It's not about cement and steel, right? Our rivers today, these are two rivers in Mindanao. Before, 2,000 liters per minute. Now, 500 liters per minute. So what happens to the farmer who puts food on our table, which we will cook in our restaurants and hotels? The price goes up because they have less water. And they start fighting over water as well, right? So this short video should explain why the forest is so important. So here, 2 boxes. This box, soil only. The box on your right, soil with plants. They will water both boxes. Tignan nyo yung difference. What's the difference in water flow? Sige. Sir, sa likod na may eyeglasses, can you tell me, what's the difference? Yeah? You. No, you. Yeah, you. What do you notice as a difference? No, him. Yeah. The one in white and orange. What's the difference in water flow?
Clear, but with that.
Exactly, mas clear, right? So this is a landslide, flash flood, mudslide. Wasn't there one recently in Mindanao, around Davao? In Makiling, meron eh. They turned part of the Makiling watershed, Mount Makiling, into a subdivision. And then when it rained, nagka-mudslide in the entire town. Oh. So easy, look, no more rain, but the water's still clean. This is your aquifer, your groundwater, poso, free water. No? So if you're going to buy a house that's at the foot of a mountain, do you want your mountain to have trees or no trees? Trees. Obviously, di ba? Tama. So that's what we want, no? Now, if you have no trees, you have no water. And then, the price of your rice goes up. So, sometimes, I'm driving to Central Luzon, to some farms, and then I have to get gas. So I go to the cheapest gas station, the non-branded ones. And then on the line, mahaba pila. There's a farmer in front of me because he has 3 tanks, 100 liters per tank. Sabi ko, no, ba't ang dami mong bibiling gasolina? Wala namang price increase. And he said, iho, kasi wala kaming tubig. So kailangan ko ng gas-powered pump para kunin yung tubig sa ilalim ng lupa. 500 feet below, 200 feet below, 300 feet below. So I was like, oh shit, kaya pala ang mahal ng rice natin. And I asked some entrepreneurs about it. They said, the price of rice is 9 pesos per kilo higher because you have to buy gasoline to get the water. 9 pesos. Right? So, now you know. So, for us, what we're working on in Central Luzon is this. This is the ancestral domain of the Aida tribe. They're one of the oldest tribes in the country. You can see it's brown because it burned. You can see it's white because Mount Pinatubo exploded, leaving decades of ash, lahar. And so our goal here was to reforest 4,000 hectares. And I first visited them, I was like, wow, ganda, pero ang init. And then I luckily met a organization based in Bukidnon that was reforesting already. And they mentored me on how to do the scientific process on reforestation. They said though, one, the ITAS must buy into it. And two, how are you going to raise money? Diba? Kasi you need money to plant and to grow. No? So my answer was tourism, was farm tourism. No? So we made a program called Tribes and Treks. The program is simple. The funds of the tour pay for the planting, pay for people's livelihood. Diba? Teach a man to fish, no? Give him the fish. So that's the idea. So this is snippets of it. So you can hike, it's 10 kilometers round trip. 10 kilometers is too long for some people, so we have Grab Carabao. Then when you get there, there's a cultural immersion, so archery, herbal medicine, so for cough, colds, headache, stomach ache, pag nahilo ka, no? Ang wala lang daw yung heartache, iba daw yun. And then there's food. So what we did, because there are many brilliant chefs in the community, we just coach them. We taste test everything, and then we tweak. Take out vetsin, put more salt, put more pepper. No? Ano lang, right? We collaborate with them on what's the best, right? And then, dancing and planting. No? That's the whole point, right? Because that's the reason for starting that program. No? Now, after our first successful tour, so I had 20 people, punta kay Chieftain. Oh, Chieftain, his name is Erice. Ito po yung pera, 3K. No? So si Chieftain kasi walang trabaho yan. Grade 6 lang natapos niya. No running water, no electricity. For him to earn 3,000, mga 1 to 2 months yan. Kasi it takes a long time to earn that much money in an area that's so far away. No? So, si Chieftain looks at the money. He goes, sir, huwag mo na ako bayaran. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm shocked. Why is this man, who I think is poor, rejecting my money? Because I learned to help poor, you must give them a job so they can earn money, right? So Chieftain says, sir, pag binigyan mo ako ng pera, baka magastos namin sa load, sa trino na kape, o sa sigarilyo. Hindi naman yan papakinabangan ng community ko ng matagal. We will not use it for a long time. In other words, he was saying it's not sustainable. So I said, Chieftain, ano ba gusto mo? Nakakahiya. Because I brought so many people, dapat bayaran kita. Sabi niya, ganito na lang. Looks back. Tignan mo yung lupaing ninuno namin. Napakalaki. Pero walang laman. Empty. Kung seryoso ka, if you're serious, dalhan mo kami ng mga buto at binhi kasi yun itatanim. At kahit nakawin, yung magnanakaw magtatanim. At makikinabang ang kabataan sa aming sityo, sa aming barangay. No? So here's Chieftain, unschooled, but teaching me and my team about sustainability, about regeneration. No? Sorry. I thought that I was going to teach him. I thought I was going to help him. But in many ways, he was helping me too. And he was definitely teaching me. Right? So very motivated and inspired, we said, sige, we will raise funds to get you seeds. No? So we started doing weird programs at first. This one stopped. It's called Tipsy with Sustainability. It's a cocktail making class. We use local fruits. And then the seeds, amin yung seeds. And then the money, planting, no? And then we also did a lot of tours, right? And with the money that we raised over the years, this is what we were able to do. No? We started here 2017. This one's 2021. No? And this one is last year, 2024. No? Salamat. keys to this tour was happy people, great activity, and delicious food. It had to be super good talaga. No? So restaurant level. Until now, my team, their favorite tinola is in this village. No restaurant can keep up with it. No? Kasi daw, it's cooked with love. And even high school students who come say, parang mas masarap yung food dun sa village kaysa sa restaurant. No? Because it's prepared by people who are excited to serve you. Diba? In that sense. No? Now, we understand that hindi pwedeng environment lang. And there was one elder that went to me and said, "Sir, kalikasan na naman!" Tapos ako, whoa, problema mo sa kalikasan. No? So, research muna ako, tapos naintindihan ko slowly. The elder was saying was, "Sir, laging may pera para sa puno, but there's no money for us. And you judge by the result because they're still poor. It's been 30 years after Mount Pinatubo. They're still earning, no one's earning minimum wage in the village. No? Ganun kasama, right? And when you look at what our national and provincial governments do, there are several systems for tree planting. One is, I pay for the tree. Actually, I buy the tree, I go to the community, I plant it. TY buy, I go. That tree will die, for sure. Uulingin yun ng community. Because they need to feed their family. If I have no money to pay for my kids, I'll turn the tree into charcoal because half the country uses charcoal for barbecue. Diba? May nagba-barbecue sa town nyo, sa hapon? You know this. No? We all eat barbecue. Second, they'll use it for lumber. No? Now, the other permutation is a better one. That's a DNR's model. I will hire you for 3 years. Imagine, 3 years sweldoan ka sa akin. You plant the trees, ganyan. After 3 years, I leave. Wala ka ng sweldo. What do? You think you're ready for a new job? Of course not. No? So what most communities do, they cut it again for lumber and charcoal. Then they say, "Oy, sir, nasunog! Balik kayo, plant again." And then the wretched cycle continues. And that's why, 2016, until now, we don't have effective reforestation sites by our government because it's lacking a critical component of livelihood. Diba? Anong alagaan mo? Kalikasan o pakainin mo anak mo? Of course, you will feed your kids first. No? And so when COA came out with that article, 7 billion pesos, tree planting failure, it's really about that, no? At that sense. And so we had to find a way to manage that because that's a risk sa amin. Sir, maganda nga yung tanim, pero paano naman kami kakain? So this is what we focused on. No? So the money that Chieftain declined, we went to Good Shepherd Sisters in Baguio. We told the sisters about it. They gave us their ube seeds. No? So ube planted 6 months later. Then we benchmarked, we coached them how to make purple yam chips. So there's sweet, there's salty, and then there's both. Para umami. No? And then, because we don't have a lot of funds, yung seeds, we would pick up seeds from UP Diliman, from someone's village, no? Start planting, right? Tapos ito. When the trees grew, we started to measure temperature. 13 degrees Celsius cooler, yung difference. Malaki, no? If you're designing a house or restaurant, consider that, no? The trees have flowers, the flowers bring bees, the bees bring honey. So today, the community sells honey, we're also helping them sell the honey. And then in areas where there's forest at the back, we said, oh, let's do agroforestry na. Straight na tayo. So during COVID, we had digital inspections, right? And then today, they have papaya, they have calamansi, and then they're supplying themselves, they're selling to the local market. And then we started planting bamboo, June 2016. The bamboo actually came from Davao. I bought the giant bamboo, no? And then in 2020, we started producing bamboo parols, stars, no? The community has so many talents. You just have to look at it, no? And then my favorite, kasoy. Sino mahilig sa kasoy dito? No? Half our cashew is imported, right? And we started picking up the seeds of cashew, planting it, and then growing it, no? And then we found DTI processing facilities na walang supply. So we're just using idle government assets na can be turned into different products, no? So, because we did our market study, kulang ng supply, so si community, automatic may benta, whether I'm there or not. No? I tried to buy, of course, para serve them on 100 bags, pero naubusan din, which is good, right? That's the whole point, no? And so this is what cashew trees look like over a 4-year span, no? 2021, tapos yan, 23. Yan yung katangkad na. They start blooming in the third year, no? And then by year 10, it's maximum output. The beautiful thing about cashew, it likes the heat. It can take the 7-month dry season of Zambales. No? And Filipinos are nuts for cashew. No? So this is the before and after. And again, no trees, no water. A lot of trees, a lot of water. No? Yung cashew pala sa baba, sa taas is all native trees. No? Because the native trees bring more water. Right? And as the product started to grow, we started to do different culinary programs. This one's called Flavors from the Forest. Kasi, when I was giving talks like this, I noticed only 1 of 20 people will travel. But pag sinabi kong food, they're like, okay, show me. So we said, sige, let's stop selling travel. Let's sell a food tasting experience. So if you sign up with the workshop, we do this for corporates or schools. We go to the classroom or boardroom, then they try 3 coffees, 3 colors of honey, kasoy, 4 kinds of tea, and then, sarap, diba? For Pinoy, we like to eat. No? But they're all community-based also, right? And again, we want to build sustainability into the future. And that's why it's so important. No? Now, one of the challenges we have is wildfire. And I'm assuming Davao has some wildfire areas. Meron ba? Not sure, no? Okay. You have more rainfall kasi than us in Luzon. But in Baguio City, Camp John Hay, Yellow Trail, wildfire. In Zambales every year for the last 20 plus years, wildfire. No? So, we lost 22,000 trees. Right? And I was like, how do we solve this issue? Kasi mahirap. So we started doing research. And when we collated our data, this is what we found, no? Oops. So in August, like now, baha. Overflow of water. So ito, he went out, he wanted to buy rice for his family. So tawa yung community kasi swimming siya, no? 6 months later, same river, no more water, then it's burning at the back. And then the fire spreads to the mountain. So there's an actual visit. No? So it's like the book of Revelation in the Bible, flood and fire. No? Now, if you see this anywhere, at least even one of them, it means one thing. It means the environment can no longer handle the weather. And it needs our intervention. Diba? Fire or flood. It just means the environment is no longer strong enough to handle our weather. So, our research led us to this. This is cogon grass. I'm sure you have this. No? It's so dry na kapag may nagba-barbecue, tapos may yung konting ember flies away. When it hits that, boom. If you have a motorbike trying to start, tapos minsan the chain sparks, boom. Right? It's that dry. It's like walking into a field and valley of fuel, right? And it's an amazing fire hazard, no? So our research led us to this item called biochar, right? So if you're familiar with carbonized rice hull, it's similar. We use a process called pyrolysis, which is a fancy way of saying cook the biomass with less oxygen and higher heat. So it must be 500 degrees Celsius. Bakit, no? And what do we use? We can use kaldero, pwede na. No? Now, what is it for? No? What's the benefit? The first thing about biochar is that it holds 5 times its weight in water. Right? So if flood is an issue, or if your plants, in our case, the plant, Zambales soil does not hold water, biochar allows you to increase water holding and nutrition holdings. No? So if it's flooded in an area, imagine putting biochar on the mountain at the back. It'll hold more water. That's one. Right? Second, it's a good soil enhancer. So you see this plant? Tangkad niya, no? Siya lang may biochar. Sa gilid is less than half the size. Right? And the biochar, as I showed earlier, can be done in a caldero. I think rice cooker. No? But this is a bigger implementation. So we trained the community how to do it. And you see here, this is a standard wildfire. You see all that black smoke? That's carbon escaping into the atmosphere. That's what's going to make the rain stronger, the flood stronger, the heat stronger. Here, we're cooking. You can barely see the smoke because it's going through pyrolysis. Higher temperature, lower oxygen. It is what they call a carbon negative process, which you can get carbon credits from. Australia, the US, they all push for that. No? And this is what it looks like. It's almost an indestructible substance, right? That can be used for charcoal briquettes, uling, in your favorite Korean barbecue. And in construction, it has an interesting side effect. Alam niyo yung kulob yung kwarto? When it's hit by the sun in the afternoon, then when you come at night, it's so hot and it's moist. So even if you turn on the aircon, bagal uminit. Charcoal is used to absorb moisture. That's why you put it in your refrigerator, in your room, diba yung uling na nalagay? You mix it into your paint and you paint it there. The wall absorbs all the moisture. Then your room's not so cold anymore. So it's a carbon coat. That's one, right? And it also stops rust because the carbon does not rust. And if it's on the coat on your roof ceiling, it's very good. And look at the temperature change also. Right? Also the color matters. So if you have dark roofs in your house and it's hot in your house, consider changing it to white. It will drop by 10 degrees Celsius, I guarantee it. No? We're piloting this now in 2 public schools in Metro Manila to see if we can lower the temperature. Because in Metro Manila, 45 is pretty normal. And once we get to 42 degrees Celsius, DepEd cancels class, automatic. How can you learn? Diba? 40 nga lang, init na eh. In Ifugao, they cancel the class at 38 kasi hindi sila sanay sa mainit. Right? And so here, you can also mix it into your palitada. So again, communities have downline products, diba? Why? And the root of this is we just don't want the trees to burn. That's the whole point, diba? So, what's nice lang is the community today, message sila, Sir, nilagyan ko ng biochar kahit puno ng nyog, nilagyan. Hihihi. Tignan niyo po yung kalamansi. Ang daming bulaklak. Kahit mainit, buhay na buhay. No? So, less fire risk for soil enhancer. They can sell it pa as for 2 plantitos and plantitas or 2 contractors. Right? That's the nice part. No? Now, we're trying our best to be creative. How do we solve climate change? Travel is not enough for sure, as I mentioned earlier. But food is better. And so we have this dream concept. It's a dream because it's never happened. It's called the disappearing dinner or the last lunch. It's all about the food that you could lose to climate change. Because people don't listen to farmers. People listen to chefs and restaurants. No? And so if you want to change the way people eat, if you want to change the way people farm, it must go through the food industry. And so we'll need chefs and restaurants and hotels to work with us on it. So we're looking for partners. The dream is, if you've been to a fine dine experience, diba, bigyan ka ng, oh, here's your appetizer, tapos kwento ko where it's from, thank you, alis. And 5 minutes later, they come back with the next dish. Ang tagal ng 5 minutes. So your meal's like 1 hour. So what I thought, why don't I talk about climate solutions and climate threats to the food you're eating? And all our food is threatened. Rice is threatened, all our seafood is threatened, cacao, coffee is threatened because of climate change. Diba? If you like it and it's delicious, you'll protect it. And that's the idea. And we're hoping that schools, mayors, governors will host their own disappearing dinner or last lunch so that we all understand. Because at the end of the day, you only protect what you understand. Alagaan mo lang ang naintindihan. And bamboo is the next, for us also, bamboo is the next frontier. It's good food. You do bamboo shoots lumpia. Sarap. No? But it can also be used for construction purposes. I show this because this is in Bali. And then this next one is in Davao. It's 2.5 hours away. No? So they're doing it already here. So pwede, ganda. Please visit. Dito ako natulog, yun ang bag ko. Super sarap, no? Imagine, diba, it could solve so many things. And the best restaurants today in La Union, if you're familiar with Surf Town, some of their cafes are doing this style already. They're pivoting. This is low carbon. No? So again, when I say culinary and hospitality professionals can help end poverty in the country, I'm serious because you can. I see the direct correlation to it. No? And while people are eating and enjoying with you, it's an opportunity for you to also educate. In fact, I would say it's your responsibility to educate. And I say this to all travel agencies and tour operators in the country. Ang tao masaya pag kasama ka, kaya papakinggan ka. They will not listen to you in the classroom, but on a tour, oh yeah, they'll listen to you. So take the opportunity to protect our country. No? So I shared with you one site that we work with. It's this site. We have multiple sites in Luzon. I'm hoping to bring a group to Mindanao soon. I'm just looking for the right school or to do it. Yun, we're actually looking for tree planting sites here as well and beach cleanup sites. No? Yun. Time check. May time ba ako? Pwede pa. The next part is faster, no? And the next part's about water, right? So Davao, Gulf, Bay, big thing, no? My relationship with water started with the surf hostel, another business I have. So we put up something in La Union, Zambales, Baler, pero two of them closed. We have La Union left. So surfing. And this guy taught me how to surf. So when he taught me how to surf, he posted this picture. And galit na galit siya. Nagbumarang siya sa He said, before you decide to buy that small useless plastic sachet of shampoo or that bottled mineral water, please look at this wave and see where it all ends up. And so, when we started in 2013, actually 2011, I saw tourism go up, up, and then as the beach got dirtier, tourism go down. It's correlated. You do not pay for a nice hotel on a dirty beach. That's why you will never have a vacation in Manila Bay. Diba? It's dirty. But if you go to other countries where the bay is clean, you'll pay for the hotel there, right? And so we're losing so much money to dirty water, right? And again, that's related to our industry, no? So I found this video, which is about Philippine rivers. No? Dami, no? And every river leads to the ocean. No? So here, this video is a fisherman. He caught yellowfin tuna. Sugba, who here likes yellowfin tuna? Raise your hand, no? In the stomach of the fish. Plastic cap, plastic cap, plastic cap. Huh? Yan. So, Kadire, Flor, I know you like fish. Pareho tayo. So, ako, I like fish and I don't want to eat dirty fish. No? And this is the stat. Manila is the biggest culprit. Countryside communities are about half. I'm sure Davao is greater than the national average also. Kasi you're a big city also. No? And really, to connect it to climate change, every time you use plastic, it's carbon also because plastic is an oil derivative. No? So 1 kilo plastic, 3 kilos carbon. So when you use plastic, be mindful because pinapainit nyo yung mundo when you use that. Because that's not going away. No? So, the thing about plastic is if it ends up on a coral reef, the reef is 89% more likely to get sick. That's like a vaccine. 1 hectare of coral reef equals 1,000 kilos of seafood per year. So if you make the coral reef sick, wala kang fish. Tama? So, I did the math. How much seafood does Manila Bay produce? No? So here's the infographic. Manila Bay would produce, based on data from the Smithsonian Museum, 2.9 million kilos of seafood. Pasig River would be 17,000 kilos and Laguna de Bay would be 900,000 kilos. The question, would you eat seafood from Manila Bay?
No.
No, of course not. Kadiri, no? In fact, habang nag-clean up ako on a Sunday morning sa Manila Bay, may nangingisda. I'm like, huh? Because I asked the fisherman, sir, kakainin mo yan? Oh, malayo naman sa, sa shore. Pero kadiri, no? Anyway, be careful with Manila seafood. That's all I'm saying. No? But don't let it happen here, right? Because if Davao proceeds as what Manila has done or Cebu has done, it will destroy its bay as well. No? And less plastic waste also means cheaper food because the plastic's killing the reef. No? Now, waste is a complicated relationship with humans. No? Kasi most of the waste is organic, and I'm actually happy that Liz is here because they do amazing composting. You have to segregate your waste. Kasi pag yung plastic, madumi, may langis, may bacon, o may spam, you cannot recycle that. Diba? Kasi it's a raw material. No? So it's, of course, recycle and segregate what you can, but if you can reduce it, that's even better. No? Because less plastic means also less heat. Right? So what my friends and I did a few years ago, we started a campaign to reduce plastic and to get people to segregate. And it started in La Union.
talk to people in poor communities, they think that a plastic wrapper for biscuits is the same as a banana peel.
So we're a stakeholder of tourism, right? We benefit from a clean ocean. So we said, let's do something about the waste because if not, it will destroy us. So we started building with the plastic waste. No? This is only for divider walls, not for load bearing. No? But it's still there today. And the wall is worth 1.5 tons of plastic waste. No? Now, there are better technologies that have come out since we started that. No? But the critical metric is how much can you reduce? Right? Today, we have a law called the EPR law. So if you're a big company, 100 million pesos assets and up, you're required by law to declare how much plastic waste you're producing. Then you must get back this year 50% of all plastic you sell. So Coke, Pepsi, Nature Spring, all these guys are required by law. No? They're shelling out money to retrieve the waste. No? But really, this is the behavior that we need to correct. And again, you guys in the hospitality, tourism, culinary industry, you influence this so much. This is Coffee Bean. Tumambay ako dito for 6 hours and I took a picture of everyone who dined in but still had take out. Sayang, no? Now, we're all guilty of this. We've all done this before. But we can change, right? Some companies are changing. Some companies, you just need to remind the lady in front or the guy in front, oh, ma'am, sir, pwede bang washable na lang? You have to remind them, right? No? Again, plastic, I was talking earlier to Liz and Nicole, plastic was created to end logging kasi the world was using paper bags. So when plastic was created, it even won a Nobel Peace Prize. However, we've gone complete opposite. We used it too much. So ngayon, baon tayo sa basura, right? So that balance is important, no? And so for me, this is my lunchbox, right? Where I go. I have my own set. Actually, I have one downstairs. So that when I buy takeout, if I go to a carindera, whatever, or restaurant, I have my own set. I don't want to contribute to waste anymore, no? We also have bento boxes. In a lot of the events that I've organized, kasi we organize events for DOT, for Tourism Promotions Board, for large companies like Watsons or SM or Accenture. Normally, field, so puro picnic yan. So usually packed lunch, di ba? We're like, oh, we cannot add waste. So we bought our own bento box. Tapos ganito na siya. Diba? Classy pa. And then, because of this, we talked to our favorite karindera, uy, na, ikaw na lang mag-caterer. Here's our stuff. You wash it na lang, we'll pay extra. They're so happy. And our guests are happy because it's good food. Diba? If it's Jollibee, I mean, Jollibee's not bad, but you don't get gulay here. You get the veggie you want. No? So again, you have to be creative because our events are part of that. No? And in one town in Batangas, the tourism officer went to me and said, sir, can you train our hotel owners on zero waste or low waste events? Sabi ko, sure. But why? What's prompting this? Sabi niya, sir, kasi no Holy Week, ang daming tao pumunta. Lahat ng 200 hotels namin nag-disposable. So yung hauling cost ng munisipyo, umakyat, naging milyones. Where do we get the money? We cannot charge the hotel owners. They'll get mad if we increase the waste hauling fees. No? So, thank you. We are responsible for the waste hauling fees. No? You think it's annoying, but if we keep using disposable waste, edi aakit yan ng aakit. No? That's the reality. No? So this one is another product that uses recycled stuff. I know it should be available in Davao. Definitely in Cebu. So basically they grind plastic into the brick. So again, pwede. So that's basically how it works. It's stronger than regular hollow block. Used in Shell, UP Diliman, Max, BGC. There's also plastic lumber. Like we do have suppliers. I'll give you the list if you want. No? So when you build, please build with recycled if possible. No? And then we have events, level up, clean up, where you're taught how to recycle and you're taught how to reduce. Has to be both, not just one. No? Because if it's just one, if it's just this, we're dead. Right? This guy, sustainable IT. You have a rice cooker, washing machine, computer that you want to throw away. They will salvage it for parts. They'll pay you pa. No? And here's the stat. Only 9% of waste gets recycled. 9%. At paakyat yung production. Faster than recycling is growing. That's why you must reduce. If not, then you'll eat plastic in your sugba. No? So yun. So again, you can recycle waste with some of these ideas. You can reduce waste very simply with how you cater, how you feed people. No? Yeah. So this is a summary of what I do. We do education with impact for MAD, right? Tours fund the restoration and the products, right? And then we push for a greener economy. No? So these are our socials. I hope you can follow us. I put both ABD Green Builds and Mad Earth there. Kasi it's a tandem collaboration. Again, everything we do must be sustainable. If it's not yet now, we will push it closer and closer. No? So we start lang with small steps. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I hope you learned something today.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Raf, for that insightful and powerful talk. I mean, that truly inspired us in many ways to help our ecosystem and to achieve a more brighter future.